Okay, welcome back to part 2. In the last video I was talking about the difference, I believe, between becoming a preferred customer and an independent consultant, maybe. Or was I just talking about Gen X and network marketing in general? I think that's where I left off. Anyways, I had to stop at my thing. This is my new road trip series. We'll see how often I get these videos out, and just a thing I'm doing on YouTube now, I guess. We'll call them the road trip series, and it'll just be me talking. How's that sound? Anyways, I think that's where I was at. I was talking Gen X, and I was talking network marketing, and how we have probably tried it once or twice in our lives, maybe one or two companies, maybe you've done it, you didn't really take it seriously, but the way things are, if people are like me, so I find that there's two camps of Gen X. There's people that life worked out financially for, and they're hitting their age of 50 and they're able to wind down and kind of quiet down and do what they want. Or they get to go off and they've made the money and they get more time to themselves now that the kids are grown, and they can go explore self-discovery, they can find new classes, they can go find out things that light them up, but there's never a financial barrier to anything. The reason I started in the online world anyways in 2017, 2018, around there, was my finances were kind of plummeting. As a solo parent of 4, I was able to, I had enough savings, I had enough income coming in that I was able to have the time freedom to really be there for my kids, that I wasn't constantly looking for ways to make money extra. But I saw that things weren't really looking so good financially, the more that was going on. And by the time 2020 hit, I went and everything was working out fine. I went and got a job just because of massage and the way the world was or whatever. I went and got a job. I didn't know how my own place would be. So working for somebody else, I was now working more hours than I ever had with massage. But at the same time, I also started making more money with massage, so that was good. I just didn't have the time freedom. But again, the kids were getting older, so they didn't need me as much. So I was like, okay, this is good. But I could still see once the interest rates started climbing, I knew for myself, I'm like, I'm going to have to go back to online, because with massages, you either take more people to make more money, or you find a different way to get paid. And if you want to find a different way to get paid, you also have to then take a hit on your business and the way that you're doing things. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, okay, let's go back to the online. Here we are. And so here I am at 50 years old. I have debt to repay, but I have dreams like I hope most people, I don't want to say everybody, not everybody at 50 has dreams. Some people are settling into like, this is life and let's just get the shovels and start digging our graves. But if you've made it to 50, you probably understand there's actually a lot of life inside of you left that you want to enjoy, you want to go do and build. And so for me, that looks like planning the next phase where the kids are in post-secondary. I still want time freedom. I want time freedom for when the grandkids arrive, if they do arrive, that I can go be wherever my kids are at. Because right now, one's 6 hours away, the girls are both, one son's 6 hours away, both the girls are 7 hours away, and we don't know yet where Ethan's going to go, being drafted into the CFL this year, if he's going to go to the team, if they're going to send him back to play university ball for one more year, is it going to be across the country? Obviously my first choice would be with the Riders and down the street, but I don't have any say. So I want the time to build back my money, so I have, and then build it forward to go be where my kids are, so I can have those adventures, to have more adventures with Aaron, and then also like build a home base, or like a base where, should grandkids come into the picture at some point, that I have a place that they want to come back to visit me. Right? So those are my dreams, and again, they're all still family focused. I don't have big extravagant dreams of like, I want to write a book, or like I used to, or I want to speak on stages, or travel the world, or any of those things are pretty micro. I want time freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And I want a group of friends, and I want to do that thing. And I see that with network marketing now, is that because women have access to all over over the world, like marketing and online in different ways, they can now build teams in various different places and have friends that go that way. When they go to conferences together, they have each other, but they're all building their businesses side by side. Jewel there. And I don't think that Gen X actually had that when we had our first shot at network marketing. I think you were still limited to the city or the town that you were in, and that was to like geographical area. And it's not lost on me when I look at the 4 levels of Arbonne. It's called district manager, area manager, region vice president, and national vice president, right? And so really they were saying like, okay, here's your area of the city, here's your district of the city, here's your area, here's your region, here's your national. And like, obviously Arbonne as a company hoped some women would take it all the way across the nation, right? That they'd have little teams everywhere. But if you wanted to be with your team, you had to fly to them. Well, now, let's just say, for example, I build a team in Lethbridge, which is 6 hours away from me. It's where all of my family lives, and it's where my one son lives. So I'm constantly going back so that I can see him and visit my family and whatnot. So if I had a team, I could meet with them on a regular basis through video, right? Because video has brought us closer together as a, that didn't work so well, did it? I'm losing all my good light, and I notice when I do glance at the camera that half of me is in the shadow. So, first we're going to figure out what this camper is doing, crossing the roads back and forth, and don't really want to watch a car accident happen in front of me. Sometimes scares you, hey? And there are rocks just chip my window. It's my own fault. Okay, I'm going to get past him, and then I'm going to get back to speaking. All right, and we passed again, and we're back to safety. Sun's bugging me. We can do video chats with people. We can stay connected to people face to face because we have video, right? So isn't that awesome? And I love that for the women, but I don't see Gen X represented, and maybe that's because they're not online. Maybe the successful people in Arbonne that are my age have completely built offline and they don't have to build online. But I want to build online because I want to build all over the place, and I want to show people that you can maybe build online without necessarily having to show your face. That you don't have to start there. You don't have to start like just it's your first week. You're kind of taking the plunge and you jump on social media right away. No, you could start slowly. I'm going to show you how to build a system with writing. And people say, well, I'm not a writer, and I'll be like, are you a thinker? Are you a talker? Or are you doing like this? Because this is actually how I do my writing too, right? Is I speak my stuff. I'm a horrible typer. A great writer. If you give me a pen and paper, I'm great. I can get all my thoughts out the same way I just have to take those thoughts then and type them into a computer. I can't type as fast as I think, so writing on the computer has never worked for me. And so, whatever, I've got the systems in place where I can speak what I have to say and get it obviously typed out for me. And then I edit it. Once it's all typed up, then I can do the editing that I want to do. That's my favoriteest way to communicate with people, but it allows you to build like a capsule of information. And that's what I'm doing with the road trip series. My YouTube channel, The Ignited Pathfinders. It's really about people finding their own way, right? That's what the whole YouTube channel is going to be. And one of the ways is, if I'm going to make long form video content, I'm probably in the car driving to see one of my kids, or driving out to mine and Aaron's land in Manitou Beach, just in the car driving somewhere by myself. Like I've said before in the other videos, I would be sitting here thinking anyways. Whether I was listening to a podcast, I would have thoughts, and you have nobody to talk to. So let's turn it into a road trip series. And what I really want to do is bring along a lot of other Gen Xers. where are Gen X that want to try a different way of making money? That's all I keep saying. I would not have joined a network marketing company my first jump into the online space because I didn't know what was possible. It's only after trying every other possible way in the wild and learning all the different marketing styles that it only makes sense to pick a business that has structure built in, where my actual natural skill set is, right? So if you're doing affiliate style selling and you're really good at your messaging and you know who needs to have this, right? Let's say like there's a whole success line within my success line, I say, where they are actual fitness, they were personal trainers, they were fitness models, they were doing all that. It only made sense to share their links of what they're using because people are always asking fitness models like, well, what protein are you using? What supplements are you using? Because many people think the supplements are what give you that level of fitness, right? Spoiler alert, it's the hard work, the dedication, and the exercise, a little bit of genetics. They have a desire to look that way. Posing is an actual skill set, so yes, you can pose your body in pictures and make it look a certain way. And then there's also nutrition on top of it. But if other people are wanting health goals, they're looking for supplementation, it makes sense to go look for somebody who has the desired lifestyle, body, and stuff that you want. The people that build their brands around them getting healthy and fit, or doing the sober life and getting healthy and fit and those things, and they're building a brand around the products, right? To be like, here's the products that I'm using that I'm now having my healthy lifestyle, and they're able to sell that, and it's affiliate, right? That's all messaging. I want to build a business. I want to show people that, and I want to help you develop your messaging. Let's find your brand. But where are the Gen X people? I see all these millennials, and how do you know they're millennials? Because they've got small children. If Gen X is like 45 and older, like our children aren't small anymore. It's only going to be a few people that are having kids after 45, and that's probably not your first time kids. So our kids are older, right? So my kids are in university, most of the people that I know, and that's the age group. So what is our next set of our life? And if you need to make more money, you can go get a part-time job. What I notice about 50, being a 50-year-old woman, is very interesting leading up to 50 to be like, oh, okay, well, even if I didn't want to do massage, like what job could I do where I could go into an entry level where people aren't like, aren't you getting close to retirement age? Why are you doing this? So what does that leave? That leaves entry level jobs, like, and I don't want to start. I don't have the physical energy to go back to waitressing or to go back to retail or to go back to any of those kind of more entry level jobs. To build your way up to management. So, and I'm not leaving massage. I love the human body too much. But I also don't want to be massaging 1,200 people a year for the next 10 years. And still, like, scraping to get by. My physical energy is used. So at some point, it becomes work smarter, not harder. And for me, that's sharing all of my skills, both the hard skills like the messaging and all of those, and the soft skills like how to keep your nervous system regulated, how to emotionally hold space for yourself, how to hold space, because when you start a business, if you've done network marketing, it creates chaos in a family. It'll create chaos in a relationship if this is your first time in it, because it's hard to turn your brain off when you're starting something new and you want to make it work, and then you have to fight through all the stuff that people might say that like, oh, I'm not doing one of those things, those pyramid scheme things. Then you got to fight those voices, and there might be actual physical voices in your head where people tell you you're dumb, and then you second guess yourself. And you need someone to talk through that, because it's not dumb. It's not dumb to want more out of life, and it's not dumb or you haven't failed if you're at 50 years old and you still want to make more money. I look at my partner Aaron, and he's been in government for 16 years now. His pension's growing. He'll stay there probably for another 15 years. first I was like, government. I didn't understand why people stayed in those structures for so long. But now I see the compounding of his pension. I see his time off, his sick time away, his paid time off. Sometimes he works from home. Every holiday, it's kind of like, I'm not working, I'm not getting paid, right? If my hands aren't on people, I don't get paid. And I'm like, I understand now why people stay till 65, as they get to 50 and around there, and they're like comfortable, and they see the structure and what it's providing for them the longer that they stay. The benefits start compounding the longer you stay in them, and it makes total sense. And I've often said that to him. I'm like, oh, I so wish maybe I'd just do that. And it's not my skill set, though. It's not my skill set to sit in an office and to do paperwork. That isn't my skill set. I'm a hands-on. Even when I was younger, it was always physical jobs that I was doing. I don't do well in an office setting. It feels too much like I'm stuck in high school again. High-rise buildings, people, all of that. I don't want that. It's laughable that I even raised my kids in the city because I never wanted to live in the city. And even since I got to the city, once the grocery store is a half a block from your house, when you have 4 kids on your own and you're in a little neighborhood that's like a small town, I'm like, I can do this. And it's given them the opportunities, and I don't regret it at all. But I've always looked at real estate to be like, I need some land outside of the city. I need to live outside of the city. I need space. I need land. I need more nature. I need more, all of that. I always have. And I thought, well, when the kids grow up, maybe I'll find something. And we did this summer. And the only reason I said yes to that land is like, I got this vehicle, and they say it takes an average of 5 years to build to the top of Arbonne by building your business out brick by brick or whatever. I'm like, let's do it. Let it be the thing that fuels me, that pays for being there for my kids, because all of my debt is because I have 4 kids on my own, and we won't talk about the child support side of things or the help from the other parents, because that's a whole issue that I don't talk about online. But let's just say the amount that I'm in debt has a lot to do with the other parent. So where's I going with that? Right, Gen X. I think I said at the beginning, I talk about preferred customer or independent consultant. I tell everybody, if you want to do this business, you have to try the products first. Some people come in off the product side, like, let's say they have major gut issues, and someone's like, you got to try this Green Synergy, or the Green Gut Glow, like it cleans up people's guts really fast. And they do, and they have this major transformation, like their guts heal, their symptoms disappear, their skin clears up, and they're in love with the product for what it was able to support them to have this healing in the body. And then the person's like, hey, have you ever thought about selling this, right? Because that's how it goes, right? If you try the products, eventually someone might ask, have you thought about selling this? And so those guys are like people that try the product and then think about the business second. I tried the business first to be like, okay, let's do this business. Sign me up. Let's try some products. I was like, okay, let's spend some money and try some products. Let's take what I'm already using and replace it with Arbonne stuff and notice the difference. And here I am 8 months later being like, oh, I'll make this business work. These supplements are great. I would have still spent the money on the supplements anyways, most of the things. And then I've branched off and tried other Arbonne stuff. So you can say, yeah, I've invested in learning about the products, using the products, finding out that I like them. But I'm also not a product pusher. I don't necessarily tell people, oh my God, you got to try this. It's the best thing ever. Because there's plenty of greens that are good. It's just, I'm building a business around Arbonne. So why would I try the other ones? Why would I push the other ones? The one that works the best, realistically, is the one that you're going to use consistently of any of the products. And so I joined up as an independent consultant. But what I learned there was about the preferred customer role. And I'm like, and when I price it out, it's funny, is that sometimes the better deal comes off the preferred customer side of things, just because there's free shipping. You get if you order like within every 2 months or whatever, there's always a free gift attached. So you get a free gift. You like sometimes there's certain sales that you're wanting to get at, and so then you get this thing on sale. You get the free shipping, and you get a free gift. As an independent consultant, I pay a $12 flat shipping rate for my products. I mean, it doesn't go up, but it doesn't go down. And I don't get the free gift with it. So when I make an order, it doesn't matter how big or small it is, there's no free gift. So you can factor that in, and actually, like I say, the preferred client is actually the less expensive way, even with without the independent consultants discount, because you have to pay for shipping. So, and you don't get the free gift. So it's kind of funny. But where was I going with that one? So that one sometimes just takes a little bit of talking back and forth with people of like which one is your best idea. Sometimes you wish you could like turn the camera on while you're talking. Clearly some storms have been through this parts of the country. There's been a lot of vehicles in the ditch, and I think that was the third semi that looked like it had been there for a while. But last week I was supposed to go to my daughter's basketball game, but all roads out of Regina were closed, so I didn't get to go. But now I can kind of be glad I didn't, because there's been a lot of vehicles that look like they've been in the ditch for a week. That's just my side note. I'm driving. Road trip things, right? So, yeah. So, Gen X. Who wants to build with me? Let's build our businesses side by side. Like when you join up, I don't want to say partner with me, because you're partnering with Arbonne. It's just when I'm the one that sponsors you, or I'm the one that, it's not just mentorship. I have all of this stuff I want to give to people. I want to like show you. I get excited when I get to like take all of the ways I've fucked up over the years and turn them into wisdom so that other people don't have to. It's great. Or to be like, hey, I got these other tools that I use to help people be more themselves. Or like, hey, you're really stressed out, and wow, there's this cool thing that I do. I can show you how to stretch yourself back to calm when you're in front of me. On a video, I haven't been able to do that either. Just to generalize stuff. That's what these videos are, is like sending them out to the collective. You're supposed to, they say when you're doing messages, speak to one person. Speak to one person and it'll reach many. But let's be honest, it's really hard when you're talking to a camera. And I'm speaking to that one person because I just know them so well and they need to hear this. I needed to hear this. I needed to see more people do off the cuff or rambling or talk about these things without editing, one and done. Because also editing is a skill set, and do you know how long that takes? When you're a one-person business, it takes a lot. Most people will see these giant. One of the very first marketing courses I took was James Wedmore. James Wedmore has a team of 10. He does this, sends it off to his editor. They edit stuff out, they clip it, they put it onto social, they put it into this way. He doesn't have to do anything but sit in the vehicle and talk, or he sits in his podcast studio and talks, turns the camera on and talks to people. Somebody else edits it, somebody else splices it and cuts it up. Somebody else, like, he writes the rough draft. Somebody else goes through and checks his stuff for spelling and all of those things. Because he's good at that. He's the CEO. He holds a vision. I have a vision for my company, but I don't have a team of people doing the behind the scenes thing. And chances are you won't either. So you have to get comfortable being you to attract the people who want what you have. I want people who are willing, obviously, if you've listened for 25 minutes and here we are, you're somebody that will listen to a video. And I'll tell people, if you want to listen to my videos, like, I don't know, while you're doing chores, you're mowing the lawn, you're like shoveling the sidewalk, listen to it like a podcast. Let me just be background filler in your ears to hear what I have to say. The structured speaking doesn't work for me unless I'm with somebody else. And usually then I tell them to like help me circle around to come back to refocus. that's my big vision. If I didn't say it then, I want more Gen X people to work with, to work side by side. I want to create like a friendship of Arbonne people, or like that way, that want to build out Arbonne businesses, or want to come in for a little while, try the products, test the business, let me teach them that, I get to know them. Maybe Arbonne's not your thing, and they'll be like, did you ever think about like coaching containers, or did you ever, those sorts of things. So yeah, that's it. So try the products. You want to try the products, get a hold of me, leave a comment. Have any questions how this all works, let me know. Also in the comments, I'll have a link to another video where I talk about the compensation plan. I think that's important for people to see how you get paid, and how there is no legs. It's just an affiliate link, and be a direct seller, or like an affiliate seller, or build a team and build it with people. And I'm opting for, I mean, I guess it's a combo, a little bit of a combo, but I'm more like, I want to build a team. I want it to make known, and I want to get over the awkwardness, if you will, of that. So on to the next video. What's it going to be? I don't know. Stay tuned. Check it out, which one we come up with.